All right, welcome. Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight. Some number of episodes. Still don't remember off the top of my head because the number is large. But I also feel like I'm saying that too much, so maybe you're sick of hearing it. Who knows? Anyway, another episode recording in advance for GDQ. This will air on YouTube a week and 2 days from now. So a lot will happen since then. A whole GDQ would have happened since then. So hopefully that event is good. We'll see how it is. So anyway, Benny's here. Let's see. Mario Kart, Multi Mario, and Melee. A lot of M's I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that
Um,
M.
I mean, I do like Mario, so
He is featured in all. Uh do you don't
so
main Mario Melee, do you?
no, I actually haven't played Melee in a while.
Oh, okay.
Mostly because of school, because we have a esports league here. I just do Smash, like Smash Ultimate,
Oh, I see. Okay.
where I main Dr. Mario.
Okay,
So
so yeah, essentially just all Mario all the time. Okay.
pretty much.
So it all fits. Well, that's good. Well, anyway, we can get to that as well, but speedrunning, that is the topic of discussion. So, uh,
Yeah.
it's always good to start from the beginning, you know? So,
All right. So I mean, I guess I'm probably like one of the newer speedrunners that you've had on the podcast. I started during COVID, like
mm,
2020-ish. Um, I kind of
good
was
time to
just like,
start.
hey, kind of like dusted off my Wii U and was like, hey, I'm gonna just speedrun Galaxy 2. And I got like a 7 hour time.
Any percent?
Yep, any percent.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty good for how long that is for starting out.
Yeah, I
What do
mean,
I
it
know?
wasn't bad. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. So
That's what
the
matters.
community, yeah, community was pretty welcoming. I do very much enjoy hanging around them, even if I don't do it as much anymore. Um, but yeah, I started getting into Mario Kart a bit later into the year. I did a few category extensions, and now I'm just like, I just kind of do whatever. If it's fun, I'll stick with it for a bit.
Yep. I mean, fun's the important thing, so.
Yeah, I don't take it super seriously. I take the all Mario Karts thing kind of seriously, but at the end of the day, it's just a fun challenge to do.
Yeah. So all Mario Karts, you mean like all of them?
All of them,
You mean
every
it?
Mario Kart track.
Oh gosh.
Um,
It's got to take a
it
couple hours.
I think so. Current RTA record um is I think just under 11 hours.
It's
And then I have the
honestly
time trial.
faster than I thought it would be.
I have the time trial record, which in-game time is like 8.5. I think it took me 11 hours, 20-ish minutes.
Jeez. It's a lot of Mario Kart.
It is a lot of Mario Kart. And it's just nonstop too. You don't get any breaks. Like there's no like in-game breaks or anything like there is with Sunshine or Galaxy.
Mm, I see. Yeah, you just have the in-between tracks, I guess, but that's not a lot of time.
No, it's if you have hand problems, it's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, you gotta work on those hand stretches. So, I mean, luckily a lot of them are pretty easily accessible. Even Super Circuits on Switch
Yeah.
now, right?
s- Yeah, so even since I made the run, the accessibility has gotten better for the run. When I made it, when I made it, every track except for Mario Kart 7 was available on console. 7 is the only one that you have to play on 3DS for,
Mm-hmm.
um, which has stayed the same. But now Super Circuit's on Switch, which has made it a lot better to run, which has made it a lot easier to run. I used to do Super Circuit on Wii U, so I
Mm-hmm.
do Wii U for Wii and Super Circuit.
And then
Um,
uh,
and then
everything else was the online service because they have
yeah, pretty
they have
much.
both the other ones. Although you do need the like expansion pass or whatever the hell
Yeah,
that bullshit
I
is.
think I think now the hardest one. to get or to play on would be Double Dash because you need either a Wii or a GameCube
Mm-hmm.
and the disc, which is already like $50.
Really? Wow.
It's some I don't even have one. I either emulate it or homebrew my Wii.
I see. Yeah, I guess I didn't know how expensive GameCube games were. I'm
It's
not
a
one
tough
that like
market.
I'm not one that's like super into the whole collecting side of things. I prefer ease
Yeah,
of accessibility for me. So like if I get an EverDrive, you know, it's pretty easy to get a ROM set or whatever. So when it
well,
comes to
it's
like physical stuff, I'm kind of lost.
it's also a lot cheaper if you use like EverDrive or something because if you put out the money for an EverDrive, you're gonna be putting more games on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it ends up working out to be significantly cheaper. I mean, I've probably spent $300 on NES games
Mm.
where I could have saved 200 if I just bought an EverDrive.
Yeah, that's definitely my philosophy, I guess. Um, but I mean, obviously there are people that are collectors, and it makes perfect sense. I'm just not one of those people. So again, my whole thing is ease of accessibility and preservation and all that. That's really important. So shoutouts to those devices for existing.
Yeah, the whole game preservation community is crazy.
Hmm. They do good work. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so GameCube is it just because like Double Dash is like a popular game or
I think it's just how scarce some GameCube games are. I mean, I think it's well known that Path of Radiance is way overpriced. Melee is also kind of an issue.
ooh, yeah,
Um,
that's a tough
I
one.
think the demand is just so high for them, especially for Melee.
I
Um,
see.
and the just the supply is significantly lower than other consoles. I mean, it's no problem getting a Wii game right now.
Oh yeah, those things.
Just because of how many Wii's are out there. I mean, I have one right up here and I have two at home. So,
Yeah, those games sell for peanuts. It's crazy. But also most of the library is shovelware, so I guess it works out.
well, actually, it being shovelware was pretty bad for game preservation.
Yeah, it does make things harder when hardly anyone
Hmm.
gives a shit, but in terms of just being able to buy it, usually they're not very
Yeah.
expensive compared to other things, which is good.
Mm.
But yeah. Um so for that challenge you need wait, can the Wii U not do GameCube?
Nope. Wii
Oh,
U is locked to Wii U and Wii games.
that's interesting actually. I guess it's kind of like
So
the 3DS how the it has DS support, but the DS had GBA support.
yeah, so it
That's
all just
interesting.
went back, but they cut the very first one. So
I see.
and then the GBA had one of the other Game Boy support as well.
Oh, really? So this is a
So
common trend. I
it's a
see.
common trend.
Classic Nintendo move. But oh
Pretty
well.
much.
So yeah. So I guess at minimum you need without emulation if you wanted to do it through original means, it would just you'd just need a Switch, Wii U, and GameCube. Oh, and 3DS.
Um, you could do it with you could actually just do it with a Switch Wii and 3DS. You Wii you could use for Mario Kart Wii and Double Dash. 3DS you could use for 7 and DS, and then everything else could just be played on Mario
Oh
on the
yeah,
Switch.
okay. So you can the deluxe counts, I guess. Like I didn't know if it was like
Yeah.
you have to do the original 8 and
No,
deluxe.
no,
I don't know.
no. It actually, I think I initially made the rules as you could play either deluxe or eight, and theoretically eight is slightly faster because of snaking or whatever. I
So
don't
they
know
did
eight's
change
meta,
like
but
the how the game plays between the two a little
very
bit.
slightly. They
Okay,
kind of just patched that out.
I see.
But but with the booster course pass now, I
Hmm.
it's required to play on Switch just so
Yeah.
you could get all. Yeah.
Okay. That It's funny that the booster course pass alone like increases that challenge by like an hour and a half, maybe even longer. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think around an hour and a half, hour 40.
Wow. It's long enough already. Too bad.
I don't think sub 10's possible anymore.
Rip. Unfortunate. Um, so yeah, so we Switch and 3DS. You can get it all
Yeah.
there. Okay. That's good.
hmm
That's slightly better, although 3DS capture is a little hard
So
for the
actually,
average Joe.
I can show what I use for it.
Yeah.
Um, at home, I have a different one, but here I had to go to Target to buy a picture frame. Um,
Okay.
and I just tape the edges so it doesn't cut me, and I put my phone on here and a weight on this side, and I just like lean it off the table.
Uh, okay. And then that
I put my and I just like record it through there.
interesting. I mean, you work
It's
with what you got, I
scuffed.
guess.
Yep. It's cheap too. It was like maybe $10 to set it up.
There's nothing quite like the scuffed setup, so I appreciate the
I've
effort.
seen worse. I've seen worse, so
Yeah. I mean, mine used to be really scuffed with my original hand cam setup. I've since gotten like an extended arm kind of thing that can hold it, but it used to be like some Christmas decoration, like a sled Christmas decoration, and I could kind of put my phone in it and then stack some boxes up, and I could get it in the right angle. It was really interesting.
yeah.
So I gotta respect the effort when it's there. But yeah,
I mean,
that's a cool challenge.
eventually,
I'm a big Mario
eventually,
Karter, so
yeah. I think if you enjoy Mario Kart and you like longer speedruns, it's definitely worth a shot. Um, and I think, and I know there's one guy, Johannian, who's been grinding out the games. I have no doubt he's getting record. I mean, I'm good at two of the games, decent at most of them, and bad at one of them. So if you're like decent at all of them, you could probably just get record.
I see. What's the bad one?
I suck at Double Dash.
Mm. Yeah, it is
Uh,
like the most unique out of all of them, isn't it?
yeah, I grew up on Wii.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
I grew up on Wii and DS, so anything before that was kind of like not my kind of was not my thing. But I started to grind out Super Circuit when it came out on Switch because I found it really fun. I enjoy how the game feels.
Hmm.
Um, and then 64, I always did time trials back and forth when I had it on Virtual Console on the Wii U. But Double Dash has just been so inaccessible, and there's just like,
Hmm.
and I'm just like not good at it. So,
Yeah. If I bought Double Dash back in the day when I had my Wii, I would have owned every single Mario Kart. I'm realizing that because I had Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 on Wii Virtual Console. I actually had a Game Boy Advance cartridge of Super Circuit when I had my DS. And then obviously I had Mario Kart DS, I had Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8, and Deluxe. I don't own Mario Kart 8 in my Wii U anymore because that console is very unnecessary to me. So,
hey, I love my Wii U.
hey, I'm not
It's
saying
still
you
my
don't
most
need it.
used.
I just don't need it. So I got rid of it.
I guess for you, you do run the older stuff. So,
Yeah, like anything on Wii U that matters was ported to Switch, and then I have a Wii, so I just didn't need it. It became obsolete once they started putting Wii U games that I cared about on the Switch. So I just sold it to a friend and didn't care anymore. I wasn't gonna use it
yeah.
ever again. So, but I mean, yeah. So I've owned everything but Double Dash legitimately. So it's kind of interesting to think about looking back.
It's always Double Dash that's the hardest game to get.
Yeah, I mean, I could
I
have
think,
easily done it. The Wii is a
oh, yeah.
GameCube, so I could have just done it, but I didn't. I looked into trying out GameCube, but as a kid I was dumb about the whole thing, so I wasn't sure how it worked, so I just never ended up doing it. But
Yeah. And
I
then,
did play it once at a friend's house, and that was it. That was my entire Double Dash experience. So
I mean, the controller's not an issue. I being a Smash player, I have no scarcity of GameCube controllers.
Yeah, I've got one.
Um,
Can't use it. Well, I could. I have a Wii that actually allows the GameCube support. I have an older model, so like
yeah,
I've never used it.
when I bought this one, I made sure because both the ones I have, one of them's broken, the other one doesn't even have GameCube support. So
Hmm. Yeah,
I
that's
had to,
actually what my problem was. I have two Wii's because the original model, the old one we had, the disc drive doesn't work. It still doesn't work to this day. And then we got another one that didn't have the support. But yeah, I've kept to the old one and just hope that someday I can like fix the disc drive. I mean, it's not a big deal nowadays because there are other means
no.
of playing it. But I mean, it'd be nice to have it working again. But
I
yeah,
will say
it can still.
w-
Everything else about it works, and I've had it for third, four, no, 15 years? Damn. Something like that.
yeah, Wii emulation is kind of weird because you have to get the Wiimote to work,
Hmm.
and then also the sensor bar issue. So I was like, it's not worth it to mess with this and then have it break on me at some point. So I was like, all right, I'll just get a Wii.
Yeah, yeah, I know nothing about like the Wiimote emulation side of things. If I'm ever using Dolphin, I'm gonna play a game that I can use like a Switch Pro controller through Bluetooth or something. Like not I'm not
Yeah,
setting up all the Wiimote shit. I don't know how that works.
it's so annoying. I think I've done it twice, and it's a big process.
Hmm. Yeah. Plus I like just having the original hardware, so but yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's another
for
big
those
thing.
original hardware nuts, it's good that again the Mario Kart thing you only need three technically, if you know what you're doing with them. But I can't imagine very many people would be interested in that just because of how long that is. I mean that is a grind and a half, but it's
I
definitely interesting.
I think total we've had 5 or 6 people run it.
I mean that's a good amount.
And then including there's 2 people that did it without the rules that we put, just like on their own.
Hmm.
And I think one of them didn't even know this category existed because of how like niche it is.
Yeah,
Um,
where do you find is there like a multiple Mario Kart game
so
on SRC?
I actually talked to some of the speedrun.com site mods, and they said for a category like that, or for to get on a series like that, because I would like it to be similar to Multi Mario,
Hmm.
um, where we have multiple categories within it. Um, they said we would have to talk to the Mario Kart mods in general,
Hmm.
like across all the games, and a few of them weren't really on board because they said it wouldn't be super active, which
Yeah.
is fine. Um, so I just talked to the Multi Mario guys, and they just put it on the extensions board for Multi
For
Mario.
just normal multi Mario. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when multi Mario games had like every multi Mario thing anyway. I know like for the classics because I think am I a mod? I don't remember.
Well, the
But like
classics are on the Mario Hour thing, right?
yeah,
Or no, it's multiple classic Mario
yeah,
games
that's
now.
what I'm saying. It used to be all in one, but they separated the classics into its own game.
Yeah.
So I just remember that happening. And I think I'm a mod for the classics. I don't remember. I don't really moderate anymore. Too
No,
busy with life.
I'm mod for like 4 game for what? Mario's Time Machine, Mario is Missing,
The important
and I
games I
think
see.
yeah, the important games, the ones that I get like one run every 4 or 5 months for.
Perfect. Perfect. Are those the NES or the SNES versions?
I mod for I don't even remember at this point. I mod for the NES versions for both of them, I think. Oh, I have not checked speedrun.com in a while, and I have another run to verify.
Hmm,
Um, yeah, it's the 2 NES versions.
I see. So already the questionable games, but the worst versions of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
I find them fun though. They're a
They're
nice
silly.
niche little. Yeah,
They're a little silly. Um, Anyway, but yeah, big. I'm a big Mario Kart fan, so I've so I have played every game. Again, I've owned everything but Double Dash, but I played it once, so played them all. Very good
Mhm.
stuff. Um, and I'd like to. I do want to get a GameCube at some point, and then I could set that all up that way, play it legitimately. Eventually, I could play every Mario Kart legitimately. That'd be cool. Because the GameCube has like the Game Boy player, so you can do GBA that way.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So would be
I've got
would be cool. I could do the challenge. Maybe I should look into that for someday.
it is very I as much as it is like draining, it is very fun.
Hmm.
Um, as long as you know kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously the 3DS would be the hardest, but if I had a GameCube and a Game Boy player, I would have original console for every release, and then because the DS and 3DS have to play on the same thing. Hmm. Something to think about for probably years down the line,
Yeah.
but definitely something to think about. That is interesting.
Hmm.
Although they're all so different. And
Yeah,
again, I'm a Mario Kart. I grew up with that, so that's by far my favorite, control wise. I'd like to
I
think I'm pretty good at it as well, but everything else, I'd suck.
I can't remember which run I did that switched between them, but one of them I switched between Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 8,
what a what a
which
ch-
is the
what a switch.
biggest change between two games. And it's just like it feels like a completely different franchise at that point.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Super Mario Kart is so primitive in the ideas for it, but I mean, it's still pretty good. But like the drifting, just God,
It, it
that is
feels
hard to
horrible.
that is hard to do for sure. But yeah, they're all fun.
Yeah.
Especially Mario Kart 64 is like really fun when you're trying to
I
speed through it.
I love doing some shortcuts on that game. I really want to be able to implement more into my run. I think I just have like like oh, what's the track called? The Frappe Snowland
Yeah.
one?
The one we just
That
kind of
one.
just go onto the bridge and then
Jump
drive
off.
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Um, and then also the Wario Stadium one.
Oh yeah, just jumping over the hill.
Hmm. Only the first part. I can't do the second part consistently.
Yeah, the second part is definitely a lot trickier. Um, because the wall is a lot higher on that side, but
Yeah.
I think it's worth it to give it a try though, because y-
Yeah, and
it'll work
I
if
have
you
a
do it
time
right.
trial time with it, so
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely able to do it.
I've definitely dabbled in Mario Kart 64 shortcuts, time trials here and there. That's a game that's like 100% on my list for the future, just because it's just fun to pull off these wild looking things. That Mario
Yeah.
Kart's so unique in that sense, especially in a speedrun perspective. So
I
it's a
mean,
good
the
one.
only thing really comparable would be Wii, but we just feel so much different.
Wii's are like hard.
Yeah, Wii's true. Wii's are like actually really difficult. There are multiple ones where only one person has done it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, those are a tad more ridiculous, but that one's more.
some
That's fun for just like the basic, how it feels to play. I think that's just my
yeah.
opinion. I mean, obviously I'm biased. Nostalgic glasses are on, but I don't know. That's what I've always spent most of my time on. Is that game? I mean, even to this day, I'll play like custom track distributions and all that on Dolphin.
Yeah. Actually, now that I have a Wii on campus, I do want to get into some custom tracks.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really good. And then Mario Kart Wii has like the best setup for like submitting time trials and stuff. You can just do it through their CTGP whatever, and it all is like updated automatically. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, eights is also pretty decent. I think they just have a few people that are constantly running through the worldwide boards, and then
Hmm.
they just record the highest one if there's a new one, and there's a YouTube channel that uploads everything,
I see.
which is actually where I just get most of the strats that I use.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty easy method, but like it's nothing compared to Wii's where it just literally is all automated. It's very nice.
Yeah,
And they can like detect cheating or I think even and it'll automatically know if you did ultra shortcuts or not. It's kind of wild.
crazy how smart some of the people in the speedrunning community are.
Yeah. I appreciate the making it as accessible as possible. Again, I'm super for
Yeah.
accessibility, so it's good to see people put in the work to make things so much easier for people to pick up certain things.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've always thought also Mario Kart, depending on like how you approach it and what game it is like really good starter run because I mean the game's built for it. You're trying to beat the tracks fast, like so it's a good
Yeah,
carryover.
it is very accessible for starters. It's very easy to just get into, and especially with 8 Deluxe being as beginner friendly as it is, admit you could get a pretty decent time without much grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, if you want to get within like 5 or 6 minutes of record, you're gonna need to put in some more effort. But if you just want like in 96 tracks, you just want like a sub four, it's like a sub four and 150 cc. It's like you do a few runs and you'll probably get it. You'll probably get it within like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I saw there was a Mario Kart 8 LTA at a pace when I went, and it looked a bit hectic.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, I think they did it with items. I honestly wish I would have
Oh,
gone to pace. I was talking with Peas right after summer pace, and I was like, listen, I want to do like a race with. I want to race him because we're both Mario Kart runners. He's a bit better than me, but
hmm,
and then I had to cancel on him a few months later just because of school. I really no way I could make it to pace.
yeah, but yeah. So do they separate like items and no items then?
Yeah, they're separate
Oh,
categories, and I think
okay.
that goes with any Mario Kart game that gives you the option. They just separate it
Oh,
because
really? I didn't know that.
optimally you would just do no items because it's significantly faster.
Well, unless it's Mario Kart 64.
I mean,
Again, that's why that game is so
oh,
unique.
well, Mario Kart 64 is completely different. That's
Yeah,
a
I know.
completely different thing.
No, that's what I mean though.
Um,
That's like super unique game in that sense. It's kind of interesting.
yeah, no items or items in Mario Kart 64. If there was a no items option, it would be a lot slower just because so many shortcuts require you to use items.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
or
I think
I thought Wii's shortcuts required a lot of item usage.
a lot of them require mushrooms,
Hmm.
but because you're going to be in the front a lot,
You're
it's
not gonna get them.
I feel like most of the time it would be slower to intentionally back away
Hmm.
to be able to get a mushroom to use it.
Interesting.
And also Wii's item system is very not great.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the one thing.
it's the most chaotic game by far.
Yeah, that's why I like playing certain custom track distribution stuff. They'll like balance the items differently, or what I like
Yeah.
is maybe they'll replace the thundercloud with the mega thundercloud, where if you keep it, you get mega instead of shocked and shrunk.
Mhm. Actually, that's one of my favorite custom custom features.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely the Mario Kart Wii item stuff is a bit finicky to say the least. So, but
Yeah.
I think it controls the best. So that's why I always come back to it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't imagine doing it at like top level shortcut stuff. I mean, I've tried. I've gotten the Warriors Goldmine one, like 3 out of 3. No pipe jump thing though. I'm not that good, but I mean that was hard, and that's like there's
Yeah,
like
I
a pretty
mean,
consistent setup for it. I mean, it's still really
I
hard to do.
I think in like a 9 hour session, I got pipe jump once,
Yeah,
and
I
then
couldn't do that.
I haven't been able to do it since. So
Mario Kart Wii Time
it is
trailers are
like
crazy.
I've watched some of them stream for like 10 hours and not get the trick, and I'm like, at that point, I just give up.
Yeah, like
Like I
that
don't have the
takes a grind
patience,
and a half for sure. But it's cool to
which
watch.
is, I mean, the grind is partially why I still play Smash, just because again, I have pretty low patience for some games, so I'm not able to grind a trick over and over again for like 8 or 9 hours.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that make Smash really good then because those matches don't take too long. So,
Well, they're starting to now, but well, not 8 or 9 hours, but they're starting to take a bit longer now.
mm, you're
The
just
meta's
harder
gotten
to kill people with how good people are getting, or
well in Ultimate, the meta's just gotten to the point where it's just better to camp.
well, that's boring.
Yeah, it is, but it's whatever. The game's still fun.
No, that's good. Yeah, I'm not too into the Smash scene, especially not like Ultimate. I've seen a couple things, but I've always been more interested in just playing Smash casually. But I'll see like a cool clip here and there and be like, oh, that was cool. But I don't know how much of that is like, oh, I gotta watch this shit. I will say the melee stuff you can do is that's really interesting. But again,
Yeah,
I did it from like a casual perspective, like doing the wide Kirby glitch. That was more interesting to me than all the tech. But high level is still cool.
yeah. I mean, I'm nowhere near the high level for either Melee or Ultimate, but I like to just like chill with everyone. I'm friends with a lot of the players from my region, so
Yeah,
I kind of just enjoy myself at tournaments. Go like maybe two or three a year
seems like a good community. So
for the most part. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, speedrun community obviously the goat, but I mean, Smash seems pretty good. So and there's a
yeah,
lot of like interconnections between the two. I've noticed. So
yeah. There's a handful of Mario Kart runners and actually just Mario runners in general that play Smash and that play Smash and speedrun. I'm not even the best speedrunner slash Smash player from my state, so
hmm.
there's one better than me in Ultimate, one better than me in Melee. So yeah.
Well, I would have to assume it's really hard to be the best in the state. I mean, there's quite a few players, right? Like overall.
Well, I think the difference is the mix of the two.
Oh, like
I
for
mean,
both.
yeah, the people that play both. I know if you live in, I know there's like certain areas where it's just like super concentrated for both of them. I mean, like Maryland where Pace was. Um, that's a big place for Smash and for speedrunning. I know a
Hmm.
lot of speedrunners that come from there, and I know a lot of Smash players that come from there.
Yeah, it's a good place to be then. I mean, Xanadu gives you both there. That venue.
However longer it may be there.
Yeah, I heard the news, but I mean, won't be for a while if it happens. So
No,
I'm not gonna stress about it yet. And even if it does move, I mean, that's not up to me. So I need to just not care.
yeah, they'll they'll hopefully find a new place. I mean, I
It's
haven't seen them. I mean, the Smash community and speedrunning community are very resilient with things.
hmm. Yeah, it'd be all up to VG Bootcamp, right? They like own the venue, I think.
Yeah, it's VG Bootcamp, so it's like Gimmer and Apostle that own it.
Hmm. So yeah, they'll figure it out if they do demolish that area. But I don't think anything's confirmed, so there's nothing to like truly worry about
Nothing,
yet,
nothing's confirmed.
and that's good.
I still, I still would like to go to another pace. I and stay for the whole week because I
Hmm.
did really enjoy the 3 or 4 days I was up there.
Yeah, that was the summer one last year, right?
Yeah, that was the summer one.
That was a good one. Well, I'm biased because that was the big Mario 1 thing, but
I
It
mean,
was
I'm
still a good
biased
one.
too.
Hmm?
I went to Glitch Infinite actually. I think that was the first big speedrun event that wasn't GDQ.
Glitch
Um,
Infinite. I haven't heard of. Well, I've
it
heard of
was
it, but
it
I
was
guess I don't know what it is.
February 2022. Um, it was a Smash major,
Mm-hmm.
but they also to the side, same venue. To the side had the speedrunning showcase.
Really? Okay.
So I just submitted a run, and that was my first. I think that was also my first out of state Smash major.
Hmm.
Um, so it was just super fun being there for a weekend. Um, and then
Like
a few,
that was
and
at
then
Xanadu, you mean?
yeah, it was at
Okay.
Xanadu.
Interesting.
Um,
And
and that-
did like who like organized the speedrun side of things? Was it
it was still GSA, so it was
okay,
still
so it was just a GSA thing. Okay.
yeah, so it was still Milo running it.
Got it, got it. So it was like a just a GSA side off kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I guess
Okay.
they've been working together a lot. They had the Smash there. They had the Mario 64 event at Double Down, which was
Yeah,
another
yeah, they like combine Smash and their thing. Yeah, they're like connected with their
yeah,
people.
and
I
then
forget exactly
Pace,
how, but yeah.
and then Pace has obviously been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think that was the third Pace, right? Or was it the
Um,
second one?
which one?
The fall one this year.
I think that was technically the fourth one because they had
Oh, okay.
fall 22, then they had summer and fall last year, and then they had like one in 2019. It was before COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
So
they've all been at the
that was
same
before
venue. Yeah.
that was actually just before I started speedrunning. So
Oh, yeah, so you wouldn't even have known. Yeah.
like I was familiar with GDQ. I had no clue about Pace until after talking with Milo.
Got it. That's funny to think about, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people I'm sure started when COVID started because like what else are you gonna do? So
Yeah, what else?
you wouldn't have known what happened before then. But yeah, there was a big Mario Odyssey thing. I think there's a Mario Maker thing. The one thing I remember from that one was there was a Mario 64 race, and that was the last time Siglimic played the game. He was there and played Mario 64, which is just very interesting because I think that was like the first time in years and the last time since. So just cool. I
Yeah,
watched it from I was in college at the time, so I just watched it on my laptop. Good event. But yeah, it was funny. I'm sure it was like really small. Because I remember 2022 was pretty small, and then like the next one almost doubled in size. So I don't know to the extent how small the first one was, but I have to imagine like that was
yeah. I
super
mean,
tight.
I was helping the front desk at Pace Summer 23,
Hmm.
and I just talked with Cheese and Milo, and they said it was like twice as big this year.
Hmm.
I don't know how big it was during fall, but
Fall was pretty. I mean, it was a good size, but yeah, it was definitely like nothing compared to that summer one.
and I think well part of it is school because a lot of people are
Oh
in
yeah, yeah, of
a lot of
course.
speedrunners are still in high school or college. So
Yeah, I mean, the last one was pretty big. I'd say it was about on par with the summer one, maybe a little less. But yeah, that the one from 2022 was definitely a lot smaller. And like we all fit easily in the main area. They didn't have like that back room, like the big open room that they had
they
in the
didn't have
summer.
the practice room.
Yeah, they didn't have that. They like had the event during the voting season. That's what was going on in that room. So
Oh,
yeah, we didn't even
oh
have that.
yeah,
And
that's
it's
right. That's
still
right.
so but we did have like the
The main
computer
setup
area
for
that they
the
would always block off at that one. Like
Mhm.
that's all that was had, and that was like plenty. So that like gives you an idea of the size difference, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all of them were good though, so it works out.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things from all the people that went.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a good event. It's like a mini GDQ. So
Hmm.
to people that like miss the older GDQs that were a lot smaller, that this is kind of that vibe. And then I do like the difference in content you can get from it. Like GDQs mainly showcases, but this is a combination showcase and tournament style stuff, and so it's cool.
Yeah.
I like the variety in speedrun events that are starting to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember early on it was a lot of Mario.
Hmm.
Um it took a it they had a few like non-Mario games, but it took a bit, and even now it's still mostly Nintendo.
Yeah,
Um
I mean it's still like Mario 64, but there's other
yeah,
things too.
the main events are still very much Mario. I mean, they had the Lego Star Wars one.
That was a good one.
Um I can't remember what all. Oh, they had one of the Sonic ones.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2.
But yeah, it's a lot of Mario, which is fun. I think what was the first run I did there? For glitch I did Mario Super Sluggers.
Is
Um
that the GameCube one or the Wii?
no, that's the Wii one.
Okay, so that's the one I had.
Yeah. So I did all captains for that.
Hmm.
And then for pace I actually did a Kirby game. I did Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Ah, I remember that game quite well.
Yeah. Which was that was like I think the most fun I've had ever doing a speed run.
Hmm. How long is that run?
Um like an hour 45 to 2 hours.
All right.
I
I
think
remember the game
one
being quite lengthy, so I wasn't sure how that translated to
yeah,
speed. That sounds
one
about right.
one player record I think is now like an hour 30 minutes. I think it might be under an hour. Hold on. Or sorry, not under an hour, under an hour 30. Um no, it's an hour 30 minutes 2 seconds.
Well,
It was
about as
beat
close
13
as you
days
can get.
ago.
So,
Yeah, I've been over winter break I was keeping an eye on it because I knew Inari was like nonstop doing attempts. Um I think he still is like doing frequent attempts.
mhm. So what's
Because I mean,
interesting about that run?
I'm gonna be honest, not much.
Oh, well,
From
okay.
an outside perspective, it's pretty boring, but I think it's just a game everyone loved.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was pretty good.
So people definitely enjoy watching the run because you get to see most of the game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Mm.
I have fond memories of it. Definitely one of the ones I spent a lot of time on because the game is pretty long in a casual perspective.
Yeah, and
That
100%ing it
mm,
is also a challenge.
yeah, I definitely wasn't even doing that. I can't imagine how long that would take. So, but yeah, that was a good one. Um, and then so the baseball game. How do you run that? It's
So
base.
there is a story mode.
Yeah, I know. I remember the story mode, but still, it's like no.
So
That game had
there's
a really cool story mode actually for a
yeah,
baseball game.
Sluggers Super Sluggers had a very fun story mode. There's a lot of categories too. There's like any percent, which is just get the smallest team you can as fast as you can and then beat Bowser.
Mm. Okay.
Um, which is like 16 minutes. I think my time is like 18 minutes, 5 seconds or something. Um, so I think I actually lost the VOD for it.
Mm. Twitch moment.
Um, and then the other one, which is my main category, was all captains,
Mm-hmm.
which is around, which is a bit longer, but you go to all the main areas, get the captain from the main area, and then beat Bowser.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's also all characters, which is the same thing, but go every character.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few like niche categories.
Yeah. Yeah, those games were cool because of the like the varied locations, like
Yeah,
all the wacky stuff that would happen. on the field, and then like there's an actual like story mode for a baseball game. It's just very interesting, but I remember that one very well as being really good as well. So a lot of good Wii games, a lot of bad Wii games, but there's a lot of good Wii games.
There are a lot of bad Wii games.
Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of shovelware, but there was
I don't
some
think
there was
I,
some good hitters.
yeah, I don't think I had too much shovelware on mine.
And usually the shovelware as a kid had something that was just funny. Like remember there was some like airplane game where when you crashed it was like spectacular, and then there's like the wipeout on the Wii. That was just funny to
Oh,
watch the rag
I
dolls
did
go.
I did play Wipeout on the Wii. I put a
Yeah.
lot of time into that game.
Same, but it was just funny wipeouts because the rag dolls were so funny.
Yeah.
So you can get something out of most games at least. I didn't have any
Hmm.
games that were like, oh God, why does this exist? And I know there's a lot of that, but so I guess I got a little lucky. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones, and it kind of sounds like you specialize in mostly Wii stuff then.
I'm actually like looking through, and yeah, it is mostly Wii stuff. I think later on I started to move more towards PC and later
Mm.
consoles. I did Terraria for a bit. Um, and I'm still actually kind of active in the Terraria community. Um,
Yeah, I know
because I
nothing
think
about Terraria, so
they're just fun people. I did Portal.
oh, that's cool. Those runs are usually really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I do want to get back into it. I think I want to get sub 10.
Is that I know that their category, like a lot of categories with different, out of bounds kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I
specifications.
have. Yeah, I want to get like sub 10 and out of bounds.
Okay, so that's like the the any percent, right? Just
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, that's got to be hard because that uses a lot of like really
There's
tricky stuff.
there's some beginner strats which are pretty lenient, but then the more
That's
advanced stuff
nice.
uses like strict angles, like angles down to like the thousandth of a degree.
Yeah, that sounds a little hard. Just a little. I'm glad there's
So,
beginner strategies then. I guess I wasn't too familiar with the ease of accessibility for that.
yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
I mean, they did allow you making custom sensitivities and
Hmm,
like setting your DPI super low so you could just like move it so you could move it like exactly where you need it to.
that's good. Yeah, I'm glad
So,
when they make it as accessible as possible for people. So that's a good
yeah.
idea, especially for games that are like PC first person mouse moving kind of thing. It's like that's when it gets like
Hmm.
really hard to be precise. Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I've played like ran a game that was anything kind of like that. So I can't speak from experience, but I can only assume like that's got to be hard. So that's what kind of turns me away
Yeah.
from it.
I think it's similar to Mario 1 and where you just kind of need to practice the strats over and over again until you start to get a rhythm down.
Yeah, but that's any game in a sense.
Pretty much.
Unless it's
Yeah.
like heavily RNG based, then you have to react on the fly. But yeah, if anything's like perfectly consistent, yeah, that's gonna be the way to go. So
Can't
yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, can't think I have run any RNG heavy runs, but I literally did Terraria for like half a year, so
Hmm. Yeah. Again, I know nothing about that. I've heard it's like 2D Minecraft, I guess, but that doesn't even really help me understand what it is. So I don't know. I don't know. I know Minecraft's incredibly RNG heavy when it comes to speedrunning, so I can only assume.
I would. Yeah, it's very much world gen based. Like you need a
Hmm.
good seed to get a good run.
Yeah,
Um, but you also need really good like loot RNG.
yeah. Like I can't do runs that are like that. I need to
Uh,
be in control of most of it. That's just my
Yeah,
thing. But
I
for
mean,
some people that works out. So
There's always going to be something in some games that are a tiny bit RNG. I mean, isn't like bullet bill glitch slightly
Te-
like aren't there like
for like a
50/50
beginning,
aspects
for
to it?
like a beginner, if you don't know anything, yeah. But if you like really
Okay.
get into it, you can know what frame to jump on to not
Yeah, I
fall on
mean,
that. It's so technically
so
no,
there
but
are
like to a beginner,
okay.
I don't know. It's hard to
And I think
explain without
it's
getting
the
into
same for a lot of
detail.
it's the
Yeah.
same for a lot of games where the beginner strats are generally going to be safer but more RNG dependent.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, the Wii is a good era of gaming for me. So, and then I know, of course, like some of my favorite games ever, not just on the Wii, are the Galaxy games, and I know you've definitely put some time into those.
Yeah, I mean there are people that have like completely broken the games and
Of course.
I I stopped Galaxy probably a year and a half, maybe not a year and a half, but no, it's probably been around that long. Um, just because it's a long run.
Oh yeah, it's
It's hard to get the time to do a 3.5 hour Galaxy run
hmm yeah.
for Galaxy
That's the
2.
one big
So
thing. That game takes forever compared to most Mario games, but it is cool to watch though. But that game has
yeah,
a ton of downtime.
I would say without the downtime, it's probably around as fast as like Sunshine.
Wow, that much, huh? It's interesting.
It the actual levels themselves have a lot of incredibly precise movement that
Hmm.
and the taskers are like nonstop trying to find new things. And I mean, they've done a lot of work in the past like 4 years finding stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, but yeah, I can't imagine actually sitting down to play it. Leave that to the experts. I'll just sit back and watch. But
There,
yeah.
there are a few people that are just like grinding it. I mean, I know the
Hmm.
any percent record was just broken like 3 or 4 days ago.
For Galaxy One,
Yeah,
see,
let's
that game's
see.
interesting because it has Mario and Luigi, and they're both like very different.
Yeah, the Luigi record was just broken 8 days ago.
Damn, that's neat. I remember the Galaxy Two record being broken at GDQ.
Yeah. What was it at that point? It was
I don't know.
I mean I think it was like a mid 30 it was like a mid 30X, I think. And now it's gotten to the point where what, like 10 people, 9 people have sub 3.
Yeah, with longer games, obviously there's going to be a lot more time saved, so you see like bigger improvements over time, I guess. But yeah, I didn't like watch that game early on, so I don't know all the work that's gone into it. I just pop it on here and there because I love the Galaxy games, and it's actually like a really interesting speed run to for a casual person to watch. I think, other than the
Yeah.
downtime, there's like with the way the gravity works and like abusing it to just have them flop around or whatever is just interesting.
Yeah, and the newest strat in Galaxy 1 is like a perfect example of how funky the how funky the gravity could be.
Hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. But did you just learn those games because you could, or I know you've done the 602, right?
Yeah, so I learned the Galaxy games just because they're also my favorite games for a while.
Good
Um,
opinion.
and then I started getting into the multi Mario community, and I found out what I actually knew what the 602 was from a while ago. I was watching. I watched one of the races. Um, I see. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of what year it was. I think it was 2018 that one of my friends introduced it to me, and then I started watching some runners and was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But I never really thought about it until I started running Galaxy.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the
And
galaxies are
then
the big
I
ones, the long ones. So.
Yeah, because if you run 64 Sunshine, the community is so big
Hmm.
that a lot of them don't even think about the 602. They just want to run their game.
Yeah,
But you go
and
to
they're a lot
Galaxy,
shorter in comparison, so that helps.
yeah, you go to Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2. If you could learn those games, you learn 70% of the run.
Hmm. It's
So
crazy.
starting in that community, it came up again, and I was like, okay, I'll run it. Um, I think it took me until my second 602 to actually complete it.
Yeah, it's definitely the challenge just to finish it. So
Yeah.
this is what like obviously 64 on 20 star doing like 2 hours if you're good. Sunshine, I'm not entirely sure how long that is.
Sunshine's like 3.5
3.5.
on
Yeah,
average.
and
And
then
then
Galaxy's like 8 hours or something.
Galaxy One, I think Galaxy One most people could manage like a low seven.
Okay, that
And then
only 7.
and then
And then there's Galaxy 2.
Galaxy Two is 10 hours.
Oh my god. It's so
I
wild.
mean, I think sum of records right now is an 1818.
Some of world records.
Yeah, some
Wow.
of world records, but I think
Jesus.
the average completion time in the last 602 race was like a 21-hour time.
I mean, that's impressive. Only 3 hours off with that much run to exist. Especially with a lot of it
Yeah.
being pretty hard to do optimally.
I mean, there's some runners that are just like way above the rest. I mean, Oddme is like
Hmm.
he's the 602 runner. He's within 10 minutes with I think all of the records.
Mm. Like,
Like
his
his
PB in
PB
the
is
individual
within.
games are like 10 minutes off of the world record in that game.
Yeah, I think the exception is Galaxy 2 where he's like 20, where he's around 20.
I see. Well, I mean, they're long, so
Yeah,
in
they are
comparison,
really
it's
long
pretty
games.
close, just with
Yeah.
the length of the run. But yeah, yeah, it's a cool challenge. But yeah, that is a time-consuming effort. But it is cool to see how many people do it. I guess it's definitely one of the
Yeah,
more
and it's more
popular like long things to challenges to do.
yeah, it's more become like a challenge than like who can get the fastest time.
Yeah,
I think the people that actively do it obviously want to improve their time, but the people that do it for the first time just want to finish the challenge.
yeah, it's a lot to do in one sitting, so
Yeah.
definitely not for everyone. But it is cool to see. I mean, it's a big event. Like a lot of people take or participate in it from what I've seen.
The last one had like 60 something people, I think.
Wow, that's a lot more than I was even thinking. That's crazy.
Uh the biggest one I think had like almost 90.
Wow, crazy.
So it,
That's
it
that's
has
so many
it has
people.
just been getting bigger every year.
Yeah, that's wild. Very very interesting. I assumed it was still like a lot was like 20, not
No.
almost 100. Very
I
cool.
think once we break 100, it'll be pretty monumental for the race.
Yeah, cause for celebration.
And I actually think this summer might break it because this summer is the 10-year anniversary for it.
10 years. Wow.
So,
First one was
I
2014. Wow.
yeah, I was I was convinced to start derusting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the first one had how many people do it? 20 first one had 20 people run it.
Damn. It's more than I thought it would be.
Or I guess only 14 people showed up. So,
Well, yeah, that's fair.
but it is interesting to see how it's evolved the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder how far the like best time has come down since. It's gotta
Well,
be.
I know. So 2014 record was 24 hours, 6 minutes, 59 seconds. So I
It's
think
pretty good.
it's dropped almost 5 hours.
It's a good improvement.
Record, yeah, record's now 1909.
Mm-hmm. And that's gotta be mostly from the Galaxy games, just because of how long they are, how varied it is.
Well, actually, I think most of the top 10 are just Galaxy runners, so their times are pretty
Yeah,
close together.
I mean, once you learn Galaxy, you or at least one of the Galaxy games, you kind of do both of them. I assume they're fairly similar. And then once you've done both of those, again, that's like most of the 602, so you can just do the other part of it.
See, I actually think it's kind of the opposite. I feel like if you are able to do 64 and Sunshine, you're better off because those are just harder games.
Sure, but they are a
You
lot less time consuming. I mean, they
Yeah,
take
true.
effort to learn, but if you do, like, it vary less based on like the amount of time you have to spend on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think my 602 PB loses like an hour in 64 and like I think 4 hours in Sunshine.
Well, sunshine, sunshine.
Sunshine is so tough.
Oh my god. I played that for the first time a couple years ago. Uh, Not for me. If I ever get a GameCube, I'll try again, but that game sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sure the speedrun's great, but ugh. If you know what you're doing, it's gotta be like the movement's fun once you get it down. But
Yeah.
yeah, that game is way too jank. So I can imagine if you're not like incredibly good at speedrunning it, like just trying to do it for the challenge is going to be really hard.
Yeah, and I
Probably the
and I
hardest
know
game to like learn
yeah,
and
that's I think
perform.
I feel like that's the game where most people stop. Um it's third in the run. So
Hmm.
it's after 64 and Galaxy 1.
Oh, they don't do it in
So
release order?
no, because I don't think people want to do 16 hours of Galaxy in a row.
I, from that I understand, but that's just interesting. I didn't know that.
I
They
think
have
if
that
you just do the
sunshine
run
thing.
on your own, then you want to.
Is that like a rule or is it a choice?
For the race, it's a rule, but for the
Oh, okay.
run, if you decide to do the run outside of it, it is your choice.
Interesting. Hmm. Did not know that. I guess it makes sense because obviously if you're just doing the speed run, it shouldn't matter, but in specifically the big race thing, I think there's usually like a restream, right? Where they show where everyone
Um,
is.
yeah, the mainstream,
Yeah, and
and
that
then
would
you can
make it the
obviously assign all
easiest
the
for the
runs.
casual to like understand who's ahead and everything. So from that, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool event again. From like again the amount of people, like that's a lot of people, and then like the effort that goes into making the viewer experience for it really good.
Hmm.
Just very nice. You don't see that a ton for like giant long events like that specifically. Um,
No.
so it's cool in that way. But yeah,
And I
definitely
think
a
there
cool
were
challenge.
I think
Where do they like restream the main event?
so the stats are all on 602 Race on Twitch.
Okay, that's what it is.
Um and I think there were some talks about doing similar to more recent Smash events where they do like a quad stream where they have four different sets going on at once
Mm-hmm.
on one stream. I think they were talking about instead of now not everyone having
Mm-hmm.
their stream up, but like the top four people or something.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
So
cool.
I would be interested. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that works out because I know for most of the race it's pretty close. I think as soon as it gets to Galaxy 2 is when it starts to split a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be interesting. And then I know the Run, that website is like looking into race things. I bet the statistics you could get off of a race like that would be really cool too. So
Mhm.
probably see a lot more advancements in that kind of thing coming up. So I'm looking forward to all that
Yeah,
because that'd be a great way to like watch where everyone is. You can only do so much on a restream. The more streams you have up, the harder the quality is gonna be.
yeah.
So
Someone posted I remember when the race happened, someone posted a multi Twitch with all like 70 runners.
oh my god. Did it even load?
Someone tried loading it. I think it crashed their computer.
Really? Shocking.
So
Fascinating. If you had a supercomputer though, that would be cool. Here's just
someone's gonna
all 90
some
people.
I'll pull it up at one of the buildings in my college.
Yeah, they usually have pretty powerful stuff. I remember when I was in my dorm room, if I plugged in the Ethernet cable, I was getting like 300 megabits a second. I was living the dream.
No, I was actually surprised here because the Wi-Fi here is like around the same as it is at my house, but the Ethernet is like not half bad.
No, it
Um,
was fantastic. I'm that's the one thing I miss about the dorm.
well, I'm also surprised because this school is old. I mean, this building's 200 something years old, so
Okay, I did not have that problem.
so I'm surprised at how well like the internet works here. Now we'll see how it works tonight with the storm we're about to get, but
Yeah. Um for the live stream here, I fly out in like 12-ish hours. Uh like 13 hours for GDQ, so I'm just hoping it doesn't get canceled because I don't like when that happens. It has happened before and it made life stressful, so if the weather could just not, that would be great.
I remember one of my flights for a campus visit here got canceled and we ended up just driving 11 hours
Yeah.
because
I don't have that
we
luck.
already booked the
Well,
hotel.
it would be about 11 hours, I guess.
Miss
But
what you miss a date?
my car sucks, so I'm not trusting
Oh,
that.
yeah.
One of my
I mean,
headlights is
also,
out.
well, you'd also be driving probably on a lot of ice because of how cold it's going to get closer to Pittsburgh and Ohio, closer to Pittsburgh and Ohio.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping my flight's fine. Um, because yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, what are the other? There's something else I remembered. I thought you did that was quite large, but like a big event. But maybe that was just the
Um,
Mario Kart and the 602 was what was on my mind.
I mean, there's a few things in the Smash community that I do.
Mm,
Obviously, you're not really like in the Smash community,
yeah, I'm not. I mean, again,
but
there's like
like
a connection between two, but like, yeah, I'm not like
yeah,
super into it or anything.
I mean, obviously I'm part of like the collegiate area, but I'm also writing articles for the rankings that are coming out this week.
Mm,
Um, I last season, so the mid-year rankings, I was able to write a few. I just asked them again. I was like, listen, it was really fun, great opportunity. Can I do it again for the full year? And they were like, sure. So um, I think I did it for like 7 players,
So what does that entail?
I'm hoping to like build the connection more between the Smash community and the speedrunners.
Mm, yeah. Oh, that's weird.
Oh,
My
did it cut out?
Yeah, my stream cut out, but
Oh,
not the Discord call, which usually you'd think they would connect together if it was like an internet thing, right?
yeah.
That must have been just an OBS crash then, if the Discord call didn't cut out. That's weird. I've Ever since I got my new router, I haven't had that problem. So that was just interesting that OBS crashed on me. But yeah, like the call didn't disconnect, so weird. So this will not affect the YouTube recording at all. Funnily enough, they'll have no idea what we're talking about. But yeah, we're back. Everything seems to be fine. Wonder what the problem was there. Maybe the weather is getting bad or something. Uh-oh. Makes me more scared about my flight tomorrow.
I just heard like a big gust of wind.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, not it's not looking good out there. But yeah. I'm just hopeful. I'm not sure how cold it's supposed to get. Anyway, we don't weather talk. We don't need to go weather talk. I'm just out here venting about my being scared about my flight not working for GDQ tomorrow. I need to be there. I have a run, even though it's not till the last day. But I'm still gonna want to be there. So anyway,
Yeah. What day is your run?
it's Saturday. Obviously not tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say tomorrow. Ooh.
No, yeah, that would be problematic. When this is up on YouTube, it would have been yesterday. So hopefully it went okay. Hopefully I was there
I'll
for
definitely I'll
it.
definitely try to watch. I mean, it's a weekend, so it shouldn't have too many problems.
Yeah, I got the good time slot again. We love to see
Oops,
it.
hold on.
Yep. Ooh, Discord.
But
Yeah.
oh,
Anyway,
oh yeah.
uh, any other games I haven't brought up yet? Ooh.
Um, no, hold on. Not really. I mean, my my speedrun profile is kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I know it's mainly like the Mario Kart and the longer 3D Mario categories for specifically those kind of challenges and stuff. Like obviously you're gonna have the
Yeah,
separate times for them as well. But I thought there were some other
yeah.
interesting things. I mean, obviously I take a look before I start. I thought there was some lesser known stuff.
I mean, other than like the Mario Education stuff, which I don't think is super notable. I do want to try to get them at a big event someday.
Are those just like the Time Machine and missing NES games, or was there like more of those?
No, it is just those two. I
Just
think
those
there's
two.
like Mario's preschool fun or whatever, but
Yeah, I remember someone that was like speedrunning some of those like super
yeah.
childhood kind of games. It was kind of
And then
interesting.
there was also there was also Mario Teaches Typing, which doesn't actually have a speedrun page.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, at least last time I checked it didn't.
I guess it is just
Yeah,
speed
it
typing.
is
Like that's
it
kind
is
of
just
different,
speed
but
typing.
yeah, I remember seeing that game. I don't know like to the extent of a game it is, but
Yeah, and I think it's a CDR game, like a CD-ROM game,
yeah, and those are
which
going to be a lot harder. Like an old, yeah.
yeah, emulating those is
Mm,
impossible.
yeah, I definitely see that one. But yeah, that's cool. Um, but yeah, any have you done any other events you didn't bring up or anything?
Other than Smash events, which I just go to,
Yeah.
not really. I think it was just Glitch Infinite and Pace. I
Hmm.
really want to get out to a GDQ at some point, but
Yeah, they're fun. I definitely wow, the weather is not doing
I
wonders for
every
my
time
internet right now.
yeah,
I'm dropping so many frames. Yikes.
esports team is Valorant tryouts today, and there's a chance that they lose power.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're a part of your like company's university's esports team, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's
So
quite a bit
sorry
of
if you're
background noise.
talking the.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Um, yeah, I'll just tell the story. When I went to university, I was a part of my thing, but I kind of just went to their meetings. I never really played a game for them. I tried to talk to them about speedrunning stuff, but they weren't interested. Although this would have been like 2019, so oh well.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, like I'm part of the main roster for my school's Smash team.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah, I
I think
forget
I'm a
how. I don't even remember them doing Smash stuff. So
yeah, and then
I had a boring college time when it came to esports. Super
I
primitive.
think I'm a sub when it comes to Overwatch. So
Okay,
oh, I just hear the wind now. I gotta walk in that. I have to go to the tryouts for Valorant, so I've gotta walk in this.
unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, you said you're pretty close to GDQ, right? So I'm not gonna dox you or anything. I'm just trying to get an
Yeah,
idea of the weather differences between here and there right now because they seem kind of
uh, so
similar, which is interesting because
so
it's like 11 hours.
my school's in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, okay. So that's only like 8 hours
It's
from
yeah,
me.
it's
It's whoa. This is getting scary.
that's yeah, that's the power.
That it's getting
So
scary over there. Oh God.
oh God.
That's interesting.
Um,
Man, I
but
wonder how much of the uh, country is like at least like Midwest and the Eastern
yeah, I'm gonna
Northeast.
probably check the storm system after this to see how much is actually getting affected by this.
Yeah, well, hopefully, obviously, when this is on YouTube, GDQ would have just ended, but hopefully it all went well and everyone made it there fine. Currently, live, I don't know how that's gonna work out, so I, I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to compare and see how hard it was to get over there.
Oh,
Interesting, but yeah,
you're cutting out.
am I? Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
the yeah, the storm is just gonna affect my internet, unfortunately.
oh, you can't tell who's getting affected by the storm.
I can hear you fine currently,
Okay.
but even my lights are flickering a little bit, and I'm dropping all of my frames. So this is just a disaster. The weather is not
The weather's
having a
not
good
great,
time.
so
But yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of wrap things up. I know it's a bit short, but
yeah.
with the weather not cooperating, and unless you want to talk about some like melee stuff you didn't talk about or anything like we just didn't
Um,
mention, we can breeze
I
through
don't
it.
have much melee. I don't have much melee stuff. I mean, I've been to like three majors for melee.
Yeah. Well,
It's not my primary Smash game anymore. It was for
or
a bit.
ultimate. I just say I default to melee. That's just me speaking bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Um, Ultimate's my primary game. I've kind of just been experimenting with stuff. Um, Good friends with a lot of like the Georgia players because that's
mhm.
where I'm from. So
Yeah, I know they have a pretty big scene over there.
yeah. But other than that, yeah, just been going to tournaments, want to go to more. So
Hmm. Yeah, they seem like a good time, and I'm glad there's again that like connection between that and speedrunning, where sometimes you go to one, you get both, depending on
mhm.
where it is. It sounds like so. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if a tournament has both, I'll enter both of them.
there you go. The kill two birds with one stone. But yeah, uh, anything else important that you can think of?
Not, nope, can't really think of much.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can wrap it up here, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a short episode here, but yeah, I mean the weather's being weird, and hey, if we're both satisfied, that's all that matters, right? So you can use this
yeah.
time to self promote however you'd like.
Well, I'm currently a full-time college student, so I haven't been able to stream much. Still
Yeah.
plan on trying to get back into it. Just gonna grind out
Oops,
Mario Kart.
I did a
But
exclamation point instead of a slash.
oh,
Maybe we'll fix that. I always do the shout out
um,
command. So what?
okay.
Is it?
And
There we go.
but I'm like still active on Twitter. I'm
There we
posting,
go.
I'm tweeting about Smash community stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously you'll see my writings on the Loomerang stuff
Hmm.
next week. So
Hey, that's about when this airs on YouTube. So there you go. You can check it out right
oh yeah,
now.
true.
How about that? That's timing for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Thanks for watching this little mini episode, I guess. Hopefully, again, all this weather stuff does not impact the GDQ that would have just happened. So it'll be a nice time capsule to see, like, being scared about it now and when this airs, like, how it actually went. I don't know.
Yep.
And yeah, just keep checking out the show. More episodes every week. It's almost at a year straight of not missing a week. So let's hit that year
Wow.
long goal. Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah. Some dogs
Almost.
are barking. They're getting scared. Weather, terrifying weather. Oh no. But yeah, take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See ya.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Bye bye.